So I'm here with Gene Huff, who's currently doing a lot of work in DC, he says. Thanks for coming to Mexico as a non-Mexican. So firstly, when did you get started in comic books as a job?
I started in comics around 1992 with Green Lantern number 36. And it just happened to be one of the easiest times to get into the industry ever. Essentially, Marvel had this huge, crazy plot back then of putting out so many titles that they were going to crowd every other company off the shelves. And fortunately, this plan didn't work. But it meant there were a lot of jobs back then, so I could never get in with my current skills, or with my skills then. With my skills then, I wouldn't get a job inside of comics.
So you say the industry has definitely stepped up in it's a lot harder to get in the industry now?
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, you just have to look around this alley, and the level of talent has just improved so much. The people who are from back then had to get so much better. Like me, I've had to just step up my game, and the people coming in now just have to be almost as good or better than the people who are already there, because there's just so much talent. It's insane.
And so, what's been your favorite a story arc to work on with DC?
Favorite story arc with DC. It definitely has to be Grant Morrison's Multiversity. I mean, the guy's just so happily, insanely brilliant. And the important part is happy. The joy is infectious.
Not Alan Moore happy.
Well, you said, DC, he's not, Alan Moore is a greater pleasure for me to work with, but he doesn't work inside the DC universe. Oh no, he doesn't work Marvel either. No,
he did the Guardians he did 5 of the Guardians in the Red, that involved in the Red Lantern trilogy.
Wait,
definitely.
Yeah. No, Alan Moore has not.
Are you sure? Because I'm sure he did those 5 Guardians, because I remember they came back.
Alan Moore has despised.
He didn't do this before Watchmen? Because they were only brought back to life in the Blackest Night trilogy.
And Alan Moore hates Before Watchmen more than he hates the DC universe. Or then he hates the people running the DC universe, I say. He actually loves the DC universe, he just doesn't want to work inside of it.
So you've worked with him?
Oh yes, I worked with him on Top 10.
Oh, fantastic. Any basically words of inspiration for people who do want to work in the industry as either writers or artists?
The thing now is that for people breaking in, you have to make your name for yourself before you can get work with Marvel or DC. You have to have your own title, and at that point, it's just a matter of deciding, is my title successful enough so I should just continue on with that and not even worry about Marvel and DC, or can I use Marvel and DC as a great way to promote my work I'm doing for myself?
Do you think there's enough of an indie market outside of Marvel and DC, or is that still really constrained?
The thing is that the market outside of Marvel and DC in some ways is even more competitive. So there's a huge market for books. In the United States, kids' books are just selling incredibly. Some of the top-selling books are things like there's like My Little Pony and licensed books like that, of course. But then there's things like Bone, which is very old, or Amulet, or there's just so many titles that are just selling huge right now. But it's so competitive. There's so many people putting out things, and only a few of these titles will become the top-selling comics of the year.
And what do you think about the movie adaptations, last question, of both Marvel and DC? And who do you think's winning in that war?
Obviously Marvel at this point is much more popular. But without the two competing against each other, neither one would be trying as hard.
Good point. Thank you so much for your time.
It's been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure. And just for the sake of me being in Mexico, I will say that hopefully it's properly in Spanish. Mucho gusto.